Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with this tweet here. So, listen, as we journey on in this market, and as we do see moves being made, and as everyone is telling us outside of crypto that crypto is this, crypto is that, I want you all to understand that this is one of the most incredible opportunities that you could ever have in your lifetime. And it's not just about getting wealthy during the bull run or anything like that. It's about witnessing and being a part of one of the most significant changes to society as a whole. Everything leading up to the Big Bang event, which I've talked about, right? Regulations, also acceptance and adoption of this technology. All of those big moves, they're happening. They're coming. And all of the steps that are being taken right now are really kind of leading to that point. And I've talked about this, but I have to include this tweet because this spoke volumes to me. This is from Pharaoh X over on Twitter. And he's saying, I have respect for anyone and everyone who's involved in crypto. And outside of this tweet, listen, so do I. For those that watch the content, watch the videos, for those that are still here, that are still showing support, I have extreme respect for you. And I can't even tell you guys how much I appreciate all of you showing up every single day as well. It truly means the world to me. But outside of that, investing your money into this space, when 99% of the population thinks it is a joke, it's not an easy task. Going against the grain is not an easy task. Taking the risk of possibly losing everything is not an easy task. Having the patience to deal with the roller coaster ride is not an easy task. Having a long-term vision is not an easy task. Constantly being lied to and manipulated by those who control the markets is not an easy task. None of this is easy. It was never meant to be easy. But if you're able to endure everything that comes with it, you will deserve everything that comes after it. Nobody can ever take that from you. Good luck to all. And this is also the number one reason why I always say, never let them tell you that you got lucky. Because listen, as we look at what's happening right now, crypto is brewing. This whole space is brewing for the big wake-up call that retail will get to see again. What that wake-up call is mainstream media pioneering Bitcoin and crypto around as if it's the next best thing. Again, they will sell the top to all of those that want to FOMO in. But you need to make sure that you are focusing on the bigger picture here. Shout out to Raul Paul for this. We do see crypto liquidity, Bitcoin year over year, and global M2 year over year. Do you see a pattern here? Look at the big spikes. Look at when they started. For an example, 2017, 2018, a massive bull run. We started to see Bitcoin year over year and global M2 year over year, their percentages, starting to increase back in 2015. It started to increase heavily, though, in 2017, leading to a big move in the market. And now, do you see the M2 supply? Yeah, it's starting to increase heavily, which tells me that we are about to see Bitcoin increase heavily, as you can see on the chart during major cycles. Remember, The cycles run on liquidity. The liquidity cycles is the key. But you see, it really loves global M2. This is when Bitcoin outperforms the NASDAQ and crypto becomes the supermassive black hole. And we do see down here, our weekly global liquidity index is about to break above 0. We also see our GMI total liquidity is above 0 and rising too. As is Fed net liquidity. And the sweet gentle sound of the cowbell can be heard in the not too far distance. Again, as we are looking at everything happening here, liquidity is improving. Liquidity is increasing. We run on liquidity cycles. I keep saying this. Everyone wants to constantly bring up the 4-year cycle. All the 4-year cycle does is follow liquidity, which is also why I said that we could very well see the 4-year cycle completely change at some point in time with liquidity changing. Now that we are starting to see liquidity improving and increasing, well, guess what? That means that we are brewing for a big move in the market. But beyond this, what they're not telling you is the fact that traditional finance seems to be melting down, right? Like when we look at banks and when we look at the overall system, we know that stocks have done pretty good, but now they are starting to slow down. And then we get this, going back to October 26th. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this back up, and the reason why I'm talking about that, is the fact that we are seeing blatant attacks on crypto, and it's because we have been rallying against traditional finance, and they don't like it. They need to slow this down. And here we have Justin, U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis asked the Department of Justice to criminally charge Binance and Tether. Going back to this chart, again, this is the perfect shakeout method that they have been doing forever and ever and ever. Right before the big moves in the market. You can go back to 2020. You can go back to 2016, 2017. Hell, even during 2021, we've seen China's banning crypto. India's following China and banning crypto as well. Like, all of these FUD statements will get put out there, and they're mainstream media headlines as well. And it's all to shake the markets. It's all to shake people out right before the big moves. And just like Pharaoh said over here, right? Investing your money into something that 99% of the population thinks is a joke is not an easy task. And it's definitely not easy when you also have mainstream media and all of the big players out there that are, telling people what to do with their money. All of them saying, hey, avoid crypto. Hey, avoid crypto. Crypto's going to go down big. Crypto's being targeted. You see all the mainstream media, headline articles. Like, this is why retail continues to fail. But beyond this, check this out from Crypto Eddie. You're on a roll. And this is talking about Cynthia Lummis. Ad number 5, not vetting or double checking your sources. The Wall Street Journal article has been proven incorrect and a statement by the Wall Street Journal was issued. How are the Buffalo today? And again, this is because we started to see this FUD going around and everyone was believing it. Everyone was playing into it. This is all to shake the markets right before the big moves happen. Check this out. Shout out to ISO 2002. Let's do it. So a lot of people have been saying this is delayed. It's delayed. No, that's just SEPA, right? Like we've talked about it. SEPA is delayed until March of 2024. But beyond that, ISO 2002 next month is still a big deal. ISO 2002 is mainly driven by regulations plus score initiative / collateral management in Europe. We'll see 40 event types adopting 15 new standards by November 2023. Plus, industry will experience Shockwave in November. Look at this. And by the way, real quick before I even look into this, this is not clickbait. This is not clickbait by me. This is not clickbait by ISO 2002. This is actually in the full document. This is from the TCS Banks Journal. And here we have the adoption of 2022 standards is mainly driven by regulations, either at the country or regional level. Down here, looking ahead, the score initiative by the ECB was focused on collateral from a CA perspective. We'll see 40 event types adopting 15 new standards by November of 2023. The remaining events are to adopt 2022 by November of 2025. Beyond this, over here, what is the timetable for the adoption of the ISO 20022 format? The pace of adoption will be dictated in Europe by the score rules imposed by the ECB, the European Central Bank, and collateral operators. The industry will experience a shockwave. The first impact will be felt in November of 2023. It will affect central depositories and collateral operators. The shockwave will then be felt by custodians, participants in central securities depositories, and then the entire custody chain and institutional clients themselves. And then November 2025 is the current official date for the start of this second phase. But this date is a matter for debate since much of the rest of the world will still speak the old language. Institutional clients impacted by this trend will first have to adopt this new format so that they can talk about ISO 20022 fluently. In fact, within 3 to 5 years, operators are likely to claim, I speak 20022. So, with this, we are seeing major changes happening. I understand SEPA delayed it until March of 2024, but that's just SEPA. We are seeing significant changes happening here around the world of finance. At the same exact time that they're pulling out the carpet bombs, right? To drop a ton of FUD on the markets to shake people out. Don't lose focus on the big picture. Traditional finance is completely inefficient. And also, it has slowed. Stocks, when we look at stocks, they've had an incredible year, right? Nvidia was one of the biggest ones that everyone was talking about. It hit over $1 trillion plus in market cap. Well, guess what? We started to see money running from stocks and into crypto. Money market funds, there's about $6 trillion there. Crypto, with the liquidity cycle improving, and with a lot of these big moves happening around standardization for, tapping into digital assets and DLT technology, this is all major catalyst. But then you also have the Bitcoin ETFs. You have institutional grade adoption. Nobody's talking about this. And when I say nobody, I'm not talking about YouTube creators. I'm not talking about anything like that. No, I'm legit talking about like traditional mainstream media players. Like, where's CNBC talking about how once a Bitcoin ETF gets approved, it's going to change everything? Where's CNBC talking about how, a Bitcoin ETF is going to be the key that unlocks the door for mass institutional grade adoption of Bitcoin? Like, where's all of this discussion? Like, we see the mainstream media articles talking about this FUD regarding, Binance and Tether being targeted and things like that. We have seen that for many years. We've seen, going back to 2020 and 2021, we've seen all of the talks about how, crypto's about to see a mass sell-off and a mass crash. And then we've also seen, China and India are banning crypto. Get out while you can. Just recently, back in December of 2022, we had Jim Cramer parading around on CNBC, which, how does this guy even have a position on the mainstream media to tell people what to do? Again, I've already gone over this. But it's telling people to sell their crypto at the bottom, the exact bottom. You can't make this stuff up. This is why retail is being targeted, and they've always been targeted. And this is also why retail continues to stay in the cycle that they have been. That's why I really respect anyone that can see past all their charades and really realize the value of being in this space right now. That's why I brought this tweet back up because, listen, 99% of the population is still asleep at the wheel. They're still being told that CDs at a bank is a good way to put your money to work. Come on. They are living in this fairy tale land. We know that crypto is the future. We know that crypto is going to blow up very, very soon. Listen, regulation, standardization, adoption, acceptance. We've started to see the major institutions talking about crypto this year, while again, we still see mainstream media fudding crypto. What do you think happens next? We are getting ready. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.